Starting. All right, we are live. Hi, everybody. I'm Todd Kiesling, and joining me are three of my very good friends. We got Anthony Rapino,
Nope.
Eric Pruitt,
Hey,
and Mercedes Yardley.
Hi.
We are the Geeky Writer Gang, and for 2 hours, we're yours.
Oh,
You're so lucky.
oh. Who came up with that name anyway? I didn't sign off on Geeky Writers Club.
You know, I think it was Mercedes. I think she's going to get the blame for this.
Well, we all had our T-shirts and Batman, and it really fit at the time.
That's right. I forgot all about that. The first time we did this, we had we had geek shirts on or something, right?
Yeah, that's right. Something like that.
It stuck.
It
People are
did
like,
stick.
people are like, the shirts are one thing, but the rest of them, they are geeks. So we just stuck with it.
yeah, y'all are.
All right, so just to reiterate, in case you are just tuning in and haven't been paying attention to the Facebook event page for the last week, we are taking questions on the Facebook event page. Actually, I don't think we posted that on Twitter. Would somebody mind posting that on Twitter? That would be great. But if you are on the Facebook event page and have joined us, please feel free to post your questions to us, and we will try to answer them in a calm and orderly fashion. We will try not to hurt anyone, but I can't promise anything.
Oh, there will be blood.
There will be blood.
There will be
There will
blood.
be lots of blood.
Always have that handy, just in case one of you decide to come through the computer screen at me. Make sure I'm ready. Come on.
Oh.
All
That's
right.
great.
Well, yeah.
Hey, we gotta start off right, man. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
I'm
loading
ready
some
for you
questions.
right back, Tony. Okay.
Well,
So, I'm just saying.
never mind.
I had it right here.
I got a bottle opener.
It counts.
I don't need any sharp items. My words are my weapons.
My pen's mightier than your sword.
So we had some questions, but I'm actually in the process of answering one. Amy Wilson asked, "Are my comments private just to y'all, or live to the internet?" They are live to the Facebook event page, and you're now on the air, sucker.
I mean, we wonder why people don't ask questions, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's because we're abusive people.
We are. That's why we hang out together. No one else will have us, really.
It's true. It's a good thing we all live in separate. Well, Tony and I live in the same state, and his days are numbered. But the rest of you all live in separate states. So, before we get started with the questions, I guess how you guys doing? It's been a while.
I've been better.
All right.
That's it, man.
Thank you for that uplifting commentary, Mr.
Tony,
Rapino.
I want to hear about Luna.
Yeah. Tell us about the cat.
Oh, she's doing really well. There was a second there. I'm sorry. There was a second there where I was gonna say something really, truly awful, for
Of my sell copies of my book, Dirtbags. Check it out. It's on Amazon or hopefully at a local bookstore if you live local to me.
And all the people who are joining from Twitter, because I tagged the am writing hashtag, they're probably wondering what the fuck right now. So I'm just gonna play this.
Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book!
And that's publishing in a nutshell, kids. Don't try it at home.
That's so sad. It's sad. Okay, back to Luna.
Yeah, let's hear how Luna's doing.
She's
First,
doing.
explain who Luna is. Not everybody knows.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a very good point, so I have a little kitten, little white kitten, who my brother found out near his house. She had feline herpes and unfortunately is blind now. She had to go for surgery to take one of the eyes out. The other eye didn't have to be taken out, but it ruptured, and so she's completely blind. She's doing well, though. The surgery went fine. We're going to get the stitches out on Thursday, and there's been some, some vomiting and stuff leaking and oozing out from behind the stitches, and it suits my writing, but otherwise she's fine, though. She's not in any pain or anything. It's just normal stuff that's going on, and yeah, so she's doing really well. She's starting to learn how to climb stairs. About it.
Well, considering that you had the entire internet pulling for Luna for a couple of weeks, I think that's pretty incredible that everyone came together and pitched in the money
You guys-
to... Yes.
My chickens are looking at me, and it's super disconcerting. They've just lined up right here. Let me see if I...
Are these live chickens you're talking
What
about?
the fuck
Yeah.
is going on out here in Las Vegas?
Seriously.
Okay, yeah, I opened the door and they ran away, but they are super disconcerting. They stare really hard.
You know, chickens bother me.
Welcome to life in Vegas.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was part of Vegas life, to be honest.
You know, it kind of
Unless-
isn't.
This slang for something else, but
It's part of my life now. You know, there's nothing else to do. You raise chickens and hey, come here.
Where is Nikki Nelson Hicks? I know she's out there watching, hopefully, because she had that story about the demonic chickens that was published a couple of months ago, and it's awesome, by the way. And
Yeah, I want
I've
to
got to look it up because otherwise I'm going to butcher the title. But Nikki's going to get a plug here in a second.
Awesome. I want to do one called Chicken Noodle, the Stupidest Rooster. That's this guy right here. They sleep on the grill every night right outside the window. Like, they don't go in the coop. They go on the grill, and that's where they sleep. And he, like, does his little rooster crow in the morning, and then he falls off every day without fail. He's stupid, but I love
That's
him.
hilarious.
I do. I love you.
Okay, the story by Nikki Nelson Hicks is called "A Chick, a Dick, and a Witch Walk into a Barn," and it's the first story in the and I know I'm gonna butcher this name, Jake Isenhege, the Accidental Detective series. Yeah, check that out. It's
Awesome.
99 cents right now on Kindle, and it's actually charting at the moment. It is number 52 in mystery, thriller, and suspense, and number 83 in top 100 pulp. So if you like your pulp stories that are a little twisted about voodoo demonic chickens, that one's for you.
So is it a short story or a novel, or because that sounds right up my alley?
It's like a novelette. I think I actually read a draft of it about a year ago, and I want to say it was like close to 12,000 words. Something like that.
So, hey, y'all want to get on some of these questions that they got?
Sure. Unless anyone else has anything to add to the chicken discussion.
they're
Yes,
delicious.
they are delicious.
Chickens are delicious.
I actually had chicken
tastes
for
like
lunch. Okay. All right. So, our first question, and stop me if I'm wrong. I think the first question we got today was.
Look,
I'm
you're on
sorry.
TV. You're on TV, Rooster.
Jesus Christ! It is a fucking. I thought that was like a nickname for your children. No, that's a chicken. That's a chicken.
This is Chicken Noodle.
You really thought that like her kids were lined up outside the window staring in?
Dude, she lives in Vegas. I didn't know what she was talking about.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you hear him? This is what we do for fun when you're in Vegas and you don't drink. There's not a lot there.
Are those eaten chickens?
What?
Are those
Is it
eaten?
what?
You gonna eat it?
Maybe.
He's gonna hear you.
Or are they egg chickens?
Well, he's a rooster, so no. But the other, yes.
Or fighting chickens.
We
Fighting?
thought he was. We
Sure,
thought he
that's
was a
illegal.
woman, and he's not.
What I'm looking at. Although rooster can be used for Cocoa Man, I think, right?
That's technically what it is. Or I've read some Ginsberg poems. There's other things you can do with chickens.
I think you ought to stop there with the Ginsburg.
Yeah, he's fucking. Woo! Okay, let's go. Let's let you outside. Okay.
Chickens bother me.
Oh.
What creepy little animals.
He heard that.
I hope he did. Really?
Okay, go. Go.
Alright, I'm scrolling down to look for Christopher Moore's question. Where'd he go?
Acclaimed filmmaker Christopher G. Moore.
Acclaimed filmmaker Christopher G. Moore, whose short film Disengaged just won an award, if I'm not mistaken.
It's third film festival. It's third award out of 3 film festivals, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, he brought it with that one.
I donated to that one. I'm looking
you?
forward to getting.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
I can't wait
Get
to
ready for it. It's a, horror fans are gonna dig it. It's a humdinger.
I think that should be the blurb on the movie poster. It's like, it's a real humdinger. Eric Pruitt, author of Dirtbags. I'm trying to find his question that I reposted because I didn't want it to get buried, and now I think
I've got it.
Okay.
It's the question. The question is: as a writer, have you ever changed something or you were writing based on something similar in a TV show, movie, or another book? And we can start with Tony.
I totally zoned out for a second.
for the cheap seats.
you
As
sure
a
you're
writer,
not drinking?
yeah, he's the sober one.
It's water.
As a writer, have you ever changed something you were writing based on seeing something similar in a TV show, movie, or another book?
Have I ever changed something I was writing?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not really sure. Is the question like, is it assuming that you're writing something and then you realize that it's way too close to someone else's work, so you try to change it?
I think it's more along the lines of, like, if you're writing something and you discover that someone has already done something similar in that respect, like you basically weren't the first one to the punch on the idea.
Yeah, I kind of just go with it. That did happen to me, sort of, with Soundtrack to the End of the World. I was writing it, and sometime after I wrote the first draft of it, I read Cell by Stephen King, and I also saw a movie. I know you know the one I'm talking about, Todd.
Pontypool.
Right, Pontypool. And they both had sort of similar themes going on and sort of similar plots, but at the end of the day, like, ideas are going to be out there. So I don't worry so much about that. As long as it's my take on it, it's my voice, it's my style. I hope that people can look past if it's sort of like something else that they read in terms of plot. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a million things that are like, not every idea can be completely original.
Mercedes, how about you?
I've heard of a lot of people that have, excuse me, stopped writing what they were writing because of it. I never have. My stuff's a little bit, like Tony said, it's my voice, it's my take, and so it's unique in that respect. But I did have I have a book that's coming out this September. It's my favorite thing I ever wrote, called Pretty Little Dead Girls. But originally the title was Run Stargirl. And it turned out that there's a Stargirl series, and so I changed the title so that it wouldn't be confused with this Stargirl series. And it was funny, though, because I had people that didn't look at it, but the second I changed the title, I got, like, 6 or 7 requests for it. So it was a good thing that I did. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I've ever changed. It just sounded too similar, and I didn't want to have it be confused with an established series. There's my rooster crowing now. It's what, 6:15 p.m.
It's broken. You got to recalibrate it.
Try turning it off and on again.
I love it, right? Did you turn it off? Can you hear him?
I heard beeping.
Todd, how about you?
Actually, I not while I was in the process of the actual writing, but after I finished a draft, I wrote a novel back in, oh God, 05, 06. It was before I started writing a Life Transparent, and I wrote it, and it was like this weird blend of like metaphysical, sci-fi, fantasy, horror. There was really no genre to pin it down, and there was like a frame story that took place in the real world. And then I read Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami, and I put the book down after I was done and realized, you know, yeah, I just spent the last 9 months writing a story for nothing because this guy told the same story. So,
Dad.
hi.
Hi.
Dad.
That's Todd.
Dad.
Hi, Todd.
Okay. We have children in our presence. Tone down.
Children and chicken. This is my house. I'm sorry. It's amazing I get anything done.
Hey,
ever.
it's all good. It's all good.
Mommy, that's Geeky.
Yeah, this is the late night edition, people.
Yes. Welcome to the late night edition. This was the only night we could all get together at the same time, so we're gonna have to roll with the punches here, folks.
I hear help. Help has arrived at home.
Oh, okay. It's all good.
Everybody hide, Mercedes' husband is home.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh.
So,
I call it do-over on this one.
Okay. It's all good. It's okay. So yeah, I think I hope, Christopher, we answered your question satisfactorily. Yeah, so Haruki Murakami is probably the reason that novel may never see the light of day.
That's a damn shame, Todd. You should publish it anyway.
Wait 10 years and then change the title and shoot it out again.
Well, you know, it's funny because it almost has been 10 years.
Well, then there you have it.
So it's due for a rewrite. Maybe once the Monochrome trilogy's done. You know, if Ragnarok is still around, maybe I'll send it to them.
Oh, they'll be here. I declare it. I decree it will be so.
All right.
When's the last time you read it, Todd? You wrote it a decade ago? When did
Oh God, the last time I actually read it, I actually tried to rewrite it in 2008, and I was telling Erica before we started broadcasting, before you guys showed up. I took some time off to, like, you know, get married. and
Where are your priorities?
We lost Eric. Oh my God.
You said the M word.
There he is. Eric's back. Eric. He's looking so sinister down at the bottom of the screen. Like he's gonna... There he is. Now he's not so sinister. Now he's like... We went from, like, the serious Reverend Eric to the three sheets to the wind Eric.
No way, dude. Where's my fucking graphic? Where's my fucking graphic?
Jovial.
All right. I think Christopher had another question.
Yeah, he had a good one.
Well, shit, where'd it go?
I'm gonna let you look for it while I'm getting my graphic.
Okay, here it is. Have you ever written something so disturbing or out there that it shocked you, haunted you, gave you nightmares, made you want to take a shower or watch a comedy to get out of that mindset?
I want to jump on this first. Let me say this. I don't like writing anything unless it puts me in the shower right away. You know what I mean? For one reason or another. I need to get naked right after I write something so dirty. Yes, sir. The answer is yes. Yes. All the time, yes.
I just want to go on record and say, Eric, I love you.
You want us to... I mean, we could end the broadcast if you want. You're getting in the shower. You're declaring your love.
No, there's not always a good I mean, there's not always like the happy, unicorns answer, unicorns and rainbow answer to that. But yeah, like when I was writing my debut novel, Dirtbags, there was a moment. There's a character in there that I've heard a lot about how despicable he is, and I do like to hear people say, I like this guy. But there was a guy that was a failed school shooter. And unfortunately, there was a Saturday afternoon where I'm ashamed to admit it, but yeah, dude, I read a lot of things, looked on the internet at a lot of things. There was, I watched 3 hours of, and I mean, I'm really ashamed to admit it, kind of, that there was, there was the footage of Columbine, that I looked at, I researched this guy, and he's a piece of shit. He's a waste of sperm and eggs. But the book is called Dirtbags, and so I wasn't trying to win hearts and minds there. So yeah, that guy Philip. When I finished researching that dude all afternoon, watching the closed caption video of Columbine, watching a lot of reading up on a lot of school shooters and massacres. I mean, I had to go out. I had to go hang out with people. I had to go out for some drinks and relax and be with some friends because I got to feel kind of shitty about myself. That afternoon. But in the end, I think it was worth it because that was a character that either pissed people off or it struck a chord in one way or another. So yeah, I think that if you're trying to get a reaction out of people, either trying to scare them or gross them out or repulse them, that starts with you. You got to make sure that you're making yourself laugh or you're making yourself grossed out. So yeah, my answer is yeah, hell yeah. Every time I try to make sure I run through a litmus test. Myself, my wife. Do I offend my wife when I read something? She's got a pretty thick skin. And then I branch out from there. So yes, sir, Christopher.
Okay.
And then he grins.
Over to you.
Grin.
Well, we just lost half our viewers, so we can pretty much say whatever we want.
Let's get naked.
Mercedes, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll see if we can retain their viewers.
See if you can lighten this up a little bit.
My husband just flashed me. Oh my goodness. Okay, go. All of you guys. Out. Okay, goodbye. Sorry, they're all here.
House yonder, ain't it?
Okay. Seriously, my husband just flashed me, which is so funny because he's so straight-laced. But that was awesome. Okay. Anyway, do I feel dirty after there were a couple of scenes in Apocalyptic Montessa and Nuclear Lulu, A Tale of Atomic Love I wrote. And it's, for those that aren't familiar with it, it's, in fact, I have it here. It's, two people that meet together and basically go on a killing spree. And I was trying to make them as sympathetic as I could and make them redemptive in a way while still talking about these things that they went and did. And there's a lot of sexual abuse and there's a lot of murder that happens, and I had a lot of scenes that I actually wrote and then felt that I needed to take out, especially concerning the sexual abuse of Montessa. I didn't feel, I'm the anti-Eric. I'm the opposite of Eric, where I want to not offend as much. You can offend all you want, dude, and I'll read it. but I feel that when I'm dealing with sexual abuse, especially, that's where I don't want to just let it all hang out. So I wrote those scenes and actually pulled them out and kind of referenced them. So I know what she went through in that way, but it's not something I laid out for the audience. What does that sign say? The anti-Eric.
Yeah, I can't read that either.
Anti-Eric,
That's for the
Antichrist?
Antichrist. But yeah, so after I wrote some of those scenes and I wrote some of the murders, and there's a particular murder in there that was a little bit, they're slipping in the blood sort of thing, I did feel gross. Most of you guys know this, but I used to work at a sex offender home. So for me, it brought back a whole bunch of baggage and things that I was like, and I didn't want to have other people feel that. I wanted them to read it, get the idea, and be caught in the story and not kind of just muddle through kind of all the yuck. But I felt that I myself personally needed to feel that yuck to make it true for the story. So yeah, when I was done, I was kind of like, just, don't speak to me for a while. I need to go shower. It's like when I used to get home from work. I have to go shower, change my clothes, and then you can talk to me. You can't talk to me as soon as I walk in the door, that sort of thing.
Okay. Tony, are you still with us?
I think I'm back.
All right, because I see a doppelganger.
I know, I see two Tonys. Hi, Tony and Tony.
It's an army. This is how it starts.
Oh no, this is
So-
awful.
Are you with us, or do I need to read the question again?
I was gone for a while, somewhere in the nether regions.
So the question is basically, have you ever written anything that's made you feel dirty and skeeved you out, or freaked you out, or made you uncomfortable?
Oh yeah, I heard. Okay.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're horror writers for the most part, I guess. So I'm usually pretty disgusted with myself by the time I'm done writing something. But no, what Eric said is basically true. We're trying to, for the most part, get a rise out of people when they're reading in one way or another, and it starts with us. What do we find scary or disgusting, so on and so forth. So yeah, have I ever felt like I had to strip down and shower directly after writing something? Probably not, but I probably should have, though. That shit is dirty work.
So, to answer the question, the answer is yes, I have. I know some people who are watching right now have read my story, The Harbinger, which is right there. It's right there, and that story is for sale. It is for sale right now. You go to Amazon, put your $2.99 down, and buy that motherfucker, okay? It's for sale.
It's disgusting and vile and exceptionally memorable.
It is probably the most disturbing thing I've written to date. When I wrote it, I kind of just sat back and had a long talk with myself because I really didn't know where it came from. But everything I write, I read to my wife first before my editor gets it, before anybody gets it. And I'll never forget this. I finished reading it. It was about a 15,000 word story, so it took me a little while to read through it. And I looked up, and my wife is staring at me, and she's got her head turned like this, and she's staring at me. And I said, "Well, what did you think?" She's like, "That was really good." And she paused. She goes, "That was really fucked up, but it was good." And yeah, everyone I sent it to had the same reaction, including Mercedes. I think Tony's comments in chat were pretty funny. I'm not going to repeat those, though, because they're inappropriate.
What?
That's exactly what you should repeat.
I'm not repeating it. Yeah. But, I mean, I as far as, like, pretty much what Eric and Tony and Mercedes have said, I mean, it comes from having to... Whoa, I lost my video. there's just like this picture of me pulsing.
I got it.
There we go. Stupid internet. Thank you, Comcast. Tony knows. He's a fellow Pennsylvanian. He knows how badly they suck.
Hey, why do you think I was gone for like 5 minutes?
Oh no, there goes sponsorship.
No. Yeah. I think it's pretty unanimous. We've all written something that, it's made us feel icky and had to take a step back and wonder about our sanity.
Well, I have a question to follow up with that.
Okay.
Why do you think we do that? Why? Because I know that I have a lot of people that are like, why don't you write some nice, fluffy unicorns and Christian fiction? Or why don't you, whatnot? What is it that makes us delve into these dark things that make us as writers feel icky? But I still feel like I'm doing some sort of a service. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I've said this before, and people who are listening or have watched other broadcasts, feel free to call me out on repeating myself, but I want my readers to share my dread, because I feel like that's a perfectly sinister answer to that question. But why? I don't know. I mean, it's almost like it goes back to that dealing with the things that disturb you. It's almost like writing them as a catharsis in your way of dealing with those fears, those gut-wrenching feelings that just would normally disturb you if you witnessed them yourself. But by writing about them and creating them out of the ether, it's almost like you're confronting them. That's probably a really safe answer, but that's all I got tonight. I'm tired. I worked all day.
It's a pretty good answer.
Oh, sorry. There's that quote that Stephen King said, and I remember reading this when I was in like elementary school and seeing this quote. And he said, if you write about the boogeyman doesn't come to get your children. And it's kind of that same idea where you write it as a catharsis, and you write it because it's things that are bothering you, and you write it out, and it makes it all, keeps the terror down.
I challenge that and say that if Stephen King wrote it, he wrote that in 30,000 more words than necessary, and there was a dream sequence in there.
That's pretty accurate.
Don't forget the Deus Ex Machina at the end, and the non-ending.
You know what? I'll answer slightly differently. I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but I think my answer actually differs depending on what day it is. But I write it because I'm constantly trying to recapture my childhood, and my entire childhood was all horror, and the horror on VHS, reading Stephen King and other horror books, the media that I consumed from all different areas. That was what I was into. It's what I've always been into. And Halloween is a holiday as a child. That's such a big part of who I was, who I am, I guess. And I don't know. I feel like writing horror to a certain extent lets me kind of escape into autumn whenever I want to. And I think that's one of the big reasons why I write this stuff. It's just escaping into autumn.
The horror is kind of your safe place, your dark, safe, sinister place.
I think that's perfect because, I mean, especially in your fiction, Tony, it feels like October, like all the time. And I think we lost Tony again. Tony, are you there?
He's frozen.
Shit.
That means there's going to be two more coming up.
Now he's never going to hear my compliment. Damn it, Tony.
Well, the thing I like about writing, like a quote-unquote escapist fiction is, I call it guns, hookers, and fire trucks. If you have these things where, like, you can get, the number one thing that I think the Bronte sisters and Jane Austen missed is you want people to turn the page and look at the next thing. You want to keep people to say, at the end of the chapter, you want to give them another reason to turn the page. If you can sneak some literary shit in there, then that's great. But, like, at the end, Throw some guns, hookers, and fire trucks in
Wait,
there.
wait. I just want to clarify something. You mean to tell me that the Bronte sisters did not write their books to torture high school students?
No, I don't think they did. And in fact, one of the biggest problems I have with like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. You remember that book that dude put out? You know,
Yeah,
Pride, Prejudice,
I remember.
and Zombies. Yeah, I bought that and I was like, oh, you know what? This is exactly what Pride and Prejudice needs is fucking zombies. Like, this is going to be great. I'm going to catch all these things I missed all along. And then I read it, and you know what? I read, let's say, 2 chapters of it. You know what the biggest problem of it was? Pride and Prejudice. It's still in there. You know what I mean? It's still fucking in there. They put zombies in there to try to get you to turn the page, but that's a, you know, that was a trick. It was a sham. The whole thing was they hornswoggled you. It's still Pride and Prejudice, and everywhere you look, it's still fucking in there. So yeah. I only made it like through 2 chapters.
Welcome back, Tony.
Yeah, I was like,
Both of you.
my last answer was so good, I was like, drop the mic.
I actually complimented your fiction, and you're like, you know, fuck it, I'm out.
Complimented my fiction, tell me about it.
Nope, too late.
Aw.
Sorry. No, I said that your fiction just reminds me of October.
And then there was a long, awkward silence when you totally didn't respond.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well,
Todd had tears. Eric and I were laughing at him.
I was trying to be honest with you, man. I'm sorry.
I wasn't here. Really,
It's like,
I
that's what happens when you open yourself up, Todd.
Tony, drop the mic for Pino.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, we got some more questions to get to. I saw a bunch of them pop up while we were digressing. I am sorry if I don't go in order. I saw one from Stephen Smith. Here we go. This is a good question, I think. While you're writing, specifically thinking novels or works of some significant length, do you change your reading or movie watching habits to avoid having another creator's voice impact your own?
I want to jump on that. Absolutely. When I wrote my first novel, Dirtbags, I made sure that I tried to live in a vacuum as much as I could because I really like Jim Thompson, the old 50s pulp writer, the noir writer Jim Thompson, and I wanted to make sure that I just kind of stayed in that. So every once in a while, when I got kind of lost, I would make sure I only watched Jim Thompson books, and Jim Thompson movies and Jim Thompson books. When trying to put together this film that I just recently worked on, and the thing that I'm working on, I only look at Stanley Kubrick because I want, even though I've got my own style and voice, I want to make sure that there's a little bit of that stuff bleeding into me. And even in the current novel that I'm writing now, it's going to be heavily influenced by Elmore Leonard, and I'm reading the shit out of some Elmore Leonard right now. So while I'm still keeping my thing, I like to make sure that there's enough of somebody that's already, I don't have any mentors really. So I want somebody to take me by my hand and then walk me into this dark, spooky place. So Elmore Leonard's doing it for me right now, holding me by my hand.
Is he the big or the little spoon?
We're the same spoon.
Who wants to follow that?
I will.
Okay.
No, I don't change what I'm reading or who I'm listening to. It's so eclectic anyway that there's no way that I would get one person's voice. I mean, I'm reading horror, watching true crime, reading children's books, watching rainbows, whatever. So it's really, it's diverse enough that I don't really directly get influenced. I think if I were writing in a certain vein, I may want to steer away from, like, say that I'm writing, something very whimsical. I may want to stay away from Amy Bender or somebody that has a little more of that. But it's mostly because, it's not because I don't want that influence. It's like, I'm writing whimsy. I am tired of whimsy. I want something, give me something hard to watch or read or listen to. So that's That's it for me.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel like it's a little flawed now. Is that a thing? Should we do that?
Say what?
was it?
What?
Nothing. I agree. I'm also a no on this one. Although I think I'm a little afraid of being influenced too much. You know, like I don't want to watch and read stuff that's like what I'm going to write or am writing because I don't want to. Do you see the chickens again, Mercedes?
I see my daughter. Sorry. Look. You see her? I just, fellas.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little afraid. I think I don't want too much of that influence to seep into what I'm writing. I'd rather kind of be inside my own head. Although I think it works the other way for me. Sometimes I'll watch, listen to, or read something that inspires me in one way or another. Usually it's mood and theme more than anything else, and that will very often be a driving force for something I want to write. But I mean, sometimes if there's like a heavy influence on that theme or mood, like I know Todd, I've talked to you about this before. When I was writing soundtrack, Tool, the band Tool was a huge influence in their themes from their songs, but also the mood and atmosphere of the songs. So I would play that as I was writing, which seemed to make sense to me at the time because it was, you know, soundtrack to the end of the world, and it just sort of fit for me. But yeah, otherwise, I don't necessarily get into the, you know, like trying to back up what I'm writing with more influence during the process.
Okay. Steve, to answer your question, I used to, actually. I would avoid stuff when I was younger because I was afraid of it influencing my work and everything. And, you know, I reached a point several years ago after I was, you know, spending like, you know, years of my life working on the same thing that if I continue avoiding any creative material, I'm never going to be able to enjoy it. And I feel like in some ways I kind of go to other fiction, even if it's in the same genre, other fiction, other, you know, movies, and, you know, sometimes video games too. Video games, music, any sort of creative item, and to just kind of cleanse, I guess, for lack of a better word. You know, I'm still immersed in this thing. Like if when I was writing the Ugly Little Thing stories, I was listening to Pseudopod, which is a horror podcast. I would listen to that when I to go to sleep every night, and I did that for like 3 months, and it, you know, kind of kept me in that mindset. But I was still experiencing something different. I got to experience, here's what someone else did, here's how they did it, and here's, you know, always looking at different ways of, you know, how can I approach that? How can I put my own creative spin on what they did? And that's pretty much how creativity has worked since, you know, dawn of man. I mean, where someone sees something, someone do something, and they're like, all right, well, how can I do that? And in trying to replicate it, they end up creating their own thing. So, you know, I used to avoid it, but now I don't. Now I embrace it, and it seems to work out. That's all I have to say about that.
Look all cheerful. It's like you got right into the soul of you, Todd.
I want you guys to connect with me on the most spiritual level.
And meanwhile, I'm sitting here thinking that sounded a lot like a literary enema.
Well, I'm glad I could help you work that out, buddy.
Hey, there's another question on here from Jonathan Wynn, where he says, what have you found to be the most effective form of marketing, word of mouth, social media, blogs? Any thoughts?
I have the answer to this. Jonathan, if you're there, this is for you, buddy.
Buy my book! Buy my book!
That's all it takes, my friend. Begging.
Oh boy, I'll take this one. Blogs are good for me for more like a landing pad. It's for marketing, it doesn't really seem to be super effective. I mean, but it's a good place to kind of have all your stuff. So if someone wants to come check you out, they can come to your blog. Face to face is definitely the best. I've found, but it's really hard to see a lot of people. I don't get out to a lot of cons and that sort of thing. So for me, I would say most of the people that I end up selling my book to tend to be on Facebook, just because that's the only social interaction I really get to have. Um, but to me, it's more like getting to know somebody and being interested in them and then wanting to pick up. Why are you looking so bored, Tony? It does this close up of Tony like preening, like look at all.
I'm absorbing the information.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm being smart here. I'm like, you look very pretty. Okay, no, shh. So, but for me, it's more about getting to know the person and then being able to have an interest in them and then an interest in their work. So, like, I'm more likely to pick up Jonathan's book because I like Jonathan, as opposed to having just somebody that I don't know. So, like, doing the press release parties have been really, really good. The events have been really good. We just did that 16 author event where we all put our books down to $1 and then had this day-long event and all the authors came in and did giveaways and stuff. That worked out really, really well. I picked up new readers that I hadn't known before and met new people that I wouldn't have known. So word of mouth is really good, but for me it's the social interaction on Facebook mostly is where I seem to be able to find the people that I connect with that want to read my work and I want to read theirs and that sort of thing. Thank you.
Drops the mic.
Mic drop!
I don't have a good answer for that one. I'm going to leave it to you guys. I mean, I don't know. I try everything, and, you know, some of it, I'm sure some of it works, but I don't pay close enough attention, as Todd has reminded me many times. So, I don't know, man. I try everything. I'll let you know when I reach my first million.
Well, I mean, as you guys might have reckoned already, I like to talk. So anybody gives me a shot at it. I have found, and I know I talked with. I remember you two, Todd and Tony, talked to me one time on a private message, private video chat where you said, "Hey, whatever you do, don't market towards other writers, market towards readers." And I honestly have had more fun talking with you guys and Mercedes and then other writers just about like what, you know, like people that I've enjoyed reading. And once I enjoy reading your stuff, I've had conversations with other writers and things have, I don't know, things have worked out all right with me. You know, there's a couple of other writers where I've just spoken to them, dude, I really, really like your book. And then we started talking and then things have happened. Like I look on the Amazon where it says like people that bought your book also bought this. Man, a bunch of those books are like you guys, you know. I mean, really, like it's Kiesling across, you know, Rapino, Mercedes, you know. So I don't know what the answer is. Every rule that they say you're supposed to follow, I haven't necessarily followed, but yeah, so far so good.
Jonathan, I guess I owe you a real answer rather than the canned critic response. Pretty much what we're doing now, honestly, I think is a good promotional tool. Working, you know, and to amend what we told you, Eric, you know, about promoting to readers, not writers. You know, you can, I guess we probably should have said promote with writers. Maybe not necessarily, you know, don't just promote to writers. I don't know. That was like so long ago, I barely remember. But you know, in that respect, I mean, the thing about like finding like a group of writers that you kind of, you know, gel with for lack of a better term, is you guys get to pool your resources. You know, like if I had sent out, you know, if this was just me doing this, I could have sent out invites, you know, to 400 or 500 people, and maybe 10 people would have shown up. But you know, with a combined group effort, you know, we had on this event 271 people were invited, and we've got 51 people confirming they're going. You know, is that a lot in the scheme of things? Probably not, but for us it is. And you get to expose your work to people who may not necessarily know it's even out there. You know, I know Jonathan's got a novel dropping tomorrow, although I think it's on sale. Jonathan, that plug's free. The rest of them are $5 each. I'll send you an invoice. You know, he's got a release party coming up. I think it is tomorrow night, actually.
Can you post that link on our thing?
I certainly can.
I'm looking for it right now.
Jonathan, post your link to the release party to tomorrow night, or the release party that's happening tomorrow night. Post it right fucking now, because I said so.
And in fact, Jonathan wrote 3 different things for. He has an article that's going to be on my website, Grind Through Love, the coffee website I have. So it's going to be one of his articles on there, which is absolutely stellar. It's really cool. And then he has another article that is going to be on my website, anthonyjrapino.com. And he has another thing that I interviewed him, and that's going to be posted on the horror novel review site, horrornovelreviews.com. So yeah, I've been working alongside him for a little while, getting these articles and stuff kind of pinned down for the release party. So, how much was that then, Todd? Does that come to 15?
We can watch this again, and you know, I can calculate the total. There is also going to be transfer fees involved.
Right.
You know, I'm following the Ticket Bastard model on that, so there's going to be a $25 convenience charge. Convenient for me, not you.
So, speaking of promotion, since we were talking about promotion...
Hey, promotion! All right, my favorite thing.
There was something that you want to tell us about, isn't there?
Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Some of you who have followed me on Facebook and Twitter may have seen me post something about me taking pre-orders for a book I have that's coming out. It is Ugly Little Things, Volume 1. It is a beautiful 296-page hardcover. And the best part is only the people who pre-order them will ever actually be able to get one. The deadline for pre-orders is August 16th. The books are going to be signed, numbered, and personalized. They're going to come with these wonderful prints that I have of the original Ugly Little Things Kindle covers, signed by my wife, who designed them. You'll also get a nice little bookmark. And you'll also get access to a exclusive website that we're setting up just for people who pre-order this. It's going to have a ton of additional content, including The Harbinger, recorded in audio by yours truly, and it'll also have access to the next Ugly Little Things release before it hits Amazon free of charge. Along with earlier drafts of the stories, there's going to be unreleased material. Oh yeah, and I should point out, the book is not just the 4 Ugly Little Things releases. It's also 12 other stories for things that have been out of print for a very long time. This book basically is the first 25 years of my life, I would say. So it weighs about 1.5 pounds. So 25 years.
Want to get to know Todd and just love on Todd, get this book and like slip it under your pillow at night, and you and Todd will be like this forever for the rest of your lives. You and Todd.
let's say if you wanted to get as much Todd Kiesling inside of you as humanly possible, buy this book.
And then eat it? Is that what you're
Eat
saying?
it.
Lick the pages?
You can
Get that Todd
you
up
know.
inside you.
And I heard you got a really famous author to write the forward. Is that?
That is correct. I'm so sorry. My mistake. Anthony J. Rapino, author of Soundtrack to the End of the World and Reality Engineers, wrote an excellent introduction that includes the phrase brain nipples.
Oh, wow.
And
Nipples.
it was an incredible honor to have him write the introduction. And I should also point out, on top of that, I got permission from the man himself, Henry Rollins, to reprint lyrics to his song Neon in this book. I have been graced by his divinity. So
That's
that
awesome.
book is out there. I am going to post the link right now.
And tell him when the window shuts.
The window closes on August 16th. You need to get your pre-order in by August 16th. After that, we are not taking orders anymore. The book is not going to be available on Amazon in this edition. The extra content is not going to be available for mass consumption. Once this is gone, it's gone. It is a collector's item, so you need to get on that shit right now. It'll be worth it, I promise. It'll make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Get
Right
that
before you
feeling
vomit.
inside of you right now.
You can... You know what? I'm not even going to repeat that.
Well, use it as a blurb. Use it as a blurb.
So I'm going to post the link. Oh wait, I posted it in the wrong place. So you guys are lucky. It's going to be on this event page twice. And thus ends my shameless self-promotion. I'm going to retreat back into my little hole here and let someone else talk for a while, because I'm, you know.
Well, there is a question on the board. If you guys want to hit a question, or do we want to go a different way?
I just want to say one thing first. This proves how hard it is to promote. It is hard to promote. It's kind of uncomfortable. You put yourself out there. It feels dorky to sit here with your books and like, you know, I've got these, rawr, you know, but you need to do it as an author. It's something you need to do. So I'm just telling you, it's tough. So yay, kudos Todd for having something awesome and promoting it.
Thank you. It was a labor of love, and I appreciate all of your support. I'm being completely serious and genuine right now. You guys have been such an amazing boost of confidence with this book, and you know, I was in a pretty dark place when we first started getting together for these broadcasts, and honestly, it's your friendship and your support that's helped make this book happen. So thank you very much.
I'm a fucking ray of sunshine.
Okay, what was the question, Eric?
Oh, shit. It is from Stephen R. Smith. While you're writing, specifically thinking novels or works of some significant length, do you change your reading or...
We already had this question, isn't it? Didn't we?
Dirtbags.
Buy his book.
No, wait. Steve did post another question.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I go.
Do you have it? Do you want to read it? Do you want me to read it? Do you want somebody
Yes.
else to read it?
Read it.
Okay, dirtbags, everybody. Steve Smith. By the way, I should give a shout out to Steve Smith. He's actually the curator of 365tomorrows.com, which is a sci-fi flash fiction website. Who actually I need to give kudos to him and say a word of gratitude. Actually, Steve actually helped me launch my website back in 2007. He featured me on 365 right after A Life Transparent, where the first edition was originally published. So, Steve, buddy, it's been a long road, and thank you very much for all of your support. So, I'm going to read your question now, and I'll try not to fuck it up. Can you read things you've written and recognize the specific ways a story or chunk of writing was cathartic, or recall the emotion or exposed nerve that was present at the point in time you were writing it? Conversely, have you read something from the past and wondered where the hell it came from?
The second one.
I think we've all had that at some point, you know.
Usually it's like I'm reading something like, holy, wow, I'm brilliant. That was amazing. I don't know how I came up with it, but holy crap, I'm a genius.
See, anytime I have a moment like that, I tell Erica, and she just says, yes, dear. Mercedes, Eric?
I'd say yes to both. I mean, I've read things that, particularly regarding Nameless, which I wrote. I started it early and then I finished it after the death of my twins. So there are certain things where I read and I'm like, oh, it hurts me to read that just because, you know, I remember where I was when I wrote that. And then there are other things where I'll read along and then I'm like, I don't remember writing that at all. I don't remember anything about that. And it's, you know, and it's usually, like Tony said, it's usually the things I'm like, that is good, you know. I don't remember writing that. But, yeah, so both, definitely.
Eric?
Yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. I do remember. I found a thing that I wrote a long time ago, and I was trying to rewrite an unpublished piece that I was trying to rewrite for something current, and it was back when I lived in a city, and I was actually trying to make some deep metaphor for trying to struggle to get into the fast lane for traffic, for rush hour traffic. I haven't been in rush hour traffic in maybe 10 years. I live in the sticks these days. I live in the fucking country. So it was really, really neat to look at that. It was like a snapshot to a moment in my life where if I would have kept going down this one road, I'd probably still to this day be doing rush hour traffic every day, trying to get into the fast lane, and that was a big moment. It's not anymore, you know. So that was, you know, that's kind of neat to look back at that and to think that there was something poignant in how I drove to and from some bullshit 9-to-5 job. But yeah, hopefully, 5 years from now, I'll look back at some goddamn Facebook post about what it was like to wait on people during brunch, and say, "Wow, man, I remember that shit, and it sucked." So the short answer is yes.
I'm just grateful that my brunch waiter has not snapped and murdered everyone in the restaurant.
Dude, he's going to. Let me tell you.
I know, and I'm gonna make sure to tip him like 50%. Okay.
The only reason your brunch waiter hasn't Columbined the shit out of all of you is because he is solely concentrated on not shitting his pants.
And if for the members of the NSA who are listening to this broadcast, I just want to say that I have no affiliation with Mr. Pruitt, and that I have no foreknowledge of any actions he may take in the next, ever. So I absolve myself of any relation to his actions.
Smart.
But Tony and I sought him out, so.
I guess I should answer Steve's question, since okay. Yeah, I'm just reading the question again. Can you read things you've written and recognize in specific ways? A story or chunk of writing was cathartic. Personally, you read something. Well, yeah. I mean, like everybody else, I mean, the answer is yes to both. You know, the story that comes to mind immediately is Saving Granny from the Devil. I mean, that whole story was catharsis. That was me exercising some demons I've been carrying with me for a long time. Anybody who's read that story understands. Yeah, that was a tough story to write, and even now I go back and I see like a new review pop up, or someone will send me an email and say, "Hey, I read the story. I really connected with it." And I'm like, "Yeah." Like I know where you're coming from. And I'm like, I'm taken back to that. It took me 4 years to write that story because I just wasn't ready for it. And that's one of the beauties of writing is catharsis, I think. And you can always be instantly taken back. I mean, I can read stuff from my novels, and I can know where I was at the time that I thought of it, where the idea came to me, what I was doing, what music was playing, what movie I was watching, things like that. People who have read The Liminal Man with the scene where Donovan's locked in, well, spoilers, not really spoilers, but he ends up tied to a chair for a duration of time. And I had that idea while I was trying to fall asleep, but I was at that point where you're just so far along into sleep that if you get yourself to wake up, you're going to have a hard enough time falling back asleep. So I just started repeating, "Remember Donovan in the room, remember Donovan in the room, remember Donovan in the room," over and over again, and hoping that when I woke up the next morning, I would remember that. And I actually did. I was pretty lucky to do that, but had I not, that novel probably would have turned out way differently. And have I ever read something from the past and wondered where the hell it came from? Yeah. I read some of the stuff from like my early days, and like especially when I was a kid. I'm like, really? The kids like to fish, huh? It's a fishing story. Or the elves trying to save Santa Claus, save Christmas for Santa Claus. Really old stories, by the way.
Whatever, that was last night. We know.
Yeah, I wrote that last night. I'm lying. I wrote that last night. Sorry.
I'll save you, Santy.
Just can't wait for Christmas to be here.
Hey, I'm already done with my shopping. We should totally talk Christmas.
Oh God.
That scares me a little. Don't do that.
No, don't do that. You're skipping Halloween. It's like the most important.
I can sing Christmas songs. We can.
I know R.J. Keller is watching this stream. She has a Christmas tree up 24/7. She actually sent me Star Wars Christmas ornaments once, which were pretty awesome. And yeah, it's kind of scary how much R.J. Keller and Erica have in common. But
That is awesome.
yeah, that she's a Christmas freak, and it's great. So, hi R.J. Love you.
That'll be $5, RJ.
Her novel is Waiting for Spring, by the way, and it's available from Amazon. Actually, she's actually published by Amazon through their imprint because she's that awesome. So we have more questions, I think. I know Zach Walters posted a bunch of them. Looks like he tailored them to each of us.
I want to go on the record as saying that I love that guy.
That guy's pretty great. I gotta say.
Great.
Gives everybody a shout out on the Mouths of Madness podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cthulhu, bless him. I like how Tony's the only one who actually laughed at that.
I was thinking, may Santa come to his door.
So I guess, God, he posted like a ton of questions.
He gave each of us a question. He gave
All
each of us a question.
Awesome.
Where do you want to start? Okay, fine then. I will start. Since no one else wants to volunteer. He says, Todd, what's next for Ugly Little Things after the hardcover? And are you happy with the number of pre-orders? Are they more, less, or in line with expectations? I can say with certainty that I have 2 more stories lined up for Ugly Little Things, numbers 5 and 6. However, they are, well, one of them, the first one that's going to be released for people who pre-order.
Wow.
who will get that ahead of everybody else for free if they pre-order. Uh, that one will probably be released on Amazon either at the end of this year or early next year. Number 6 is actually just got accepted for publication in an anthology called Dead Harvests, which is the inaugural anthology from Scarlet Galleon Publications. That's due out this fall, and I'm still waiting on the contract for that. It's really going to depend on what the terms of the contract are. I think it's like 6 months. So once I have the rights back, that one will be coming out as well. As for am I happy with the number of pre-orders? Are they more, less, or in line with expectations? Given the fact that I've kind of done this thing before, they're about within realistic expectations. Unrealistically, I'm unhappy with them because I'm not like selling thousands of copies. But what are you gonna do? But realistically, we're moving along toward my target, which is good. So there's still like 3.5 weeks left before the deadline to pre-order. So yeah, I mean, I would have to say that they're probably on par right now, but more are welcome. Eric pre-ordered, Mercedes pre-ordered.
I mostly got it because of Tony's prologue introduction.
That's right.
Oh, I forgot to mention the book also has a teaser for the 3rd monochrome novel. No big deal or anything.
Boom!
I pre-ordered mine specifically because I want to read The Harbinger again. A lot.
That's a lie.
I want to read it over and
Shame
over.
on you. Shame on you for lying to me. You're breaking my heart.
Hey, real quick, I see that Zach asked me if he asked for one, who's brave enough, intelligent enough to film this. I'd love for someone to answer that. But for someone else to answer that, but he said, can I tell anything about the new book? I have been fortunate enough to have the publisher 280 Steps pick up my second novel. At the moment, it's called Hashtag. I'm looking forward to that. They have said spring 2000. What's the next year? 2015. So
2015, buddy.
Yeah. In the meantime, dirtbags. Dirtbags. Get it while it's hot.
I like that they rhyme. Dirtbags, hashtags. That'll be like the next one.
Well,
Vacuum.
what's
Vacuum
the working title for that book you're working on now, Eric?
It's called The Jack Off.
Thank you. Boom.
The Jack Off.
I think that is one of the best titles I've ever heard for a book.
We've progressed beyond working title.
I feel like that just sums up everything. It's like, hey, what's the Eric Pruitt's got a new novel coming out. What's it called? The Jack Off. Oh, okay.
It's called The Jack Off, and honestly, all of those Bronte ladies are really mad that I took it.
So they should be. Those Bronte chicks, man, they're jelly.
I heard it was the working title for Jane Eyre.
All right, somebody take the next question from Zach. I got to step away for a second, so I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I don't have the Facebook page up, so.
I don't either. Eric, could you give us?
Yes, I can. And stop me if I repeat a question that's already been asked. Mercedes from Zach. Mercedes, what do you have coming down the pipeline?
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to talk about it. So in September, I have Pretty Little Dead Girls, a novel of murder and whimsy. It is not titled The Jack Off. It's titled something much longer. And it's my favorite thing that I ever wrote. I wrote it a couple of years ago. It's actually what I picked up my agent with. He couldn't find a niche for it, so we're putting it out through Ragnarok, and we actually ended up splitting up because we parted ways over this book. And I'm just so pleased the Ragnarok's doing it. And so it comes out September 29th. And in October, we're doing a special limited edition hardcover copy of it. Galen Dara, if you guys know her, she won the Hugo Award. She's a fantastic artist. She agreed to do the cover, and I'm so geekily excited about it. I love her stuff so much. She's doing the cover, and Orion, I'm going to massacre your name, Orion. Orion, like Zingara, I guess. Just Orion Z is doing some little interior art, and it's absolutely stunning, just beautiful. So that will be in the limited edition cover, which, like Todd's, will be pre-order only. So, and then in January, I have the sequel to my novel Nameless that's coming out. It's called Relentless, and that's coming in January. So they're kind of coming out really quick together for me. Boom, boom, boom. And then I think in February for Women in Horror Month, I'm going to be in it's 4 novellas in one, so what they call it, an omni novel, made up these 4 novellas for the Grimm sisters, the Grimm mistresses. I'm going to be doing that, and I think those things are enough to talk about, but there's a lot of stuff coming out, and they're just coming out boom, 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 so I'm super excited about it. I'm writing like the wind, I tell you. But thank you for asking. Nice to have a question.
It's very cool. A lot of good stuff.
There was a question for Tony, and unfortunately, I just kind of lost it. I'm sorry, I'm looking for it. He had a question for Tony. To my page, actually. Okay, here we go. Anthony, how is the sculpting going, and how about a line of horror-themed yo-yo counterweights I'd buy? I don't know what any of those words mean, but Tony.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that. I know that Zach is into yo-yoing, like extreme yo-yoing, but I have to be honest, I don't know what a yo-yo counterweight is. I'll look into that. Hey man, it's possible. I'm gonna have to hijack for maybe like 2 minutes here, since he asked about the sculpting, and I actually did promise that I was gonna unveil something during the broadcast. So I'm gonna show you real quick what I've been working on.
No. We've seen it. You look like a Ken doll. Don't.
I forgot about that already.
No, it's something different. I'm sorry. Okay, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Please continue.
I'm not unveiling. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's the last time I wear beige shorts. Never again. All right.
Wow.
I've been sculpting, as Zach said, and I'm going to. So there's like 3 kind of announcements that I'm gonna unveil right now. First of all, I'm gonna do a giveaway on my Facebook page, Candy Corn Apocalypse. So if you want to go like that page, I'm.
Uh-oh.
I lost him. Did you lose him?
Oh no. He locked up. He locked up. Control, delete.
My vote for the shittiest time to go out ever.
Oh, see? Comcast, folks. They suck horribly. Like, I have a feeling that if you were to take Comcast, the company, jettison them out into space, over enough time, the amount of suckage that comes naturally from that company would cause a black hole and would just envelop the universe into a singularity of suck.
He put
That's
up
Comcast.
He put up with an hour and 15 minutes of our bullshit just to sell one thing.
Look how sad he looks.
I know.
Little
Poor
avatar.
guy. This is why promotion never works out, just because something happens and you're just like, well, drop the mic.
It's Tony.
Hold on, Tony, come back.
Alright, while we're waiting for him, I'm going to shill. I have to make sure that I put out that that a film that I wrote by Christopher G. Moore is out there racking up some awards. Christopher G. Moore's Disengaged is just got its 3rd award out of 3 film festivals. So that is really, really good. Christopher, great job.
Tony, are you there?
Is he
And
back?
Oh, there's 2 Tonys. This one's bloody.
I just posted rest in peace, Anthony J. Rapino. I thought I thought maybe the monster pillows killed him.
My internet
Okay.
connection is killing me. How far did I actually get? I think I was talking to myself for a good minute.
Oh
You
God.
kind of went off after beige shorts.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
After beige shorts, I was gone after that, huh? Oh yeah, I was just totally shilling to no one for a while.
I feel like this is a metaphor.
Like, before you even get started, nah.
All right, okay, start from the top because I want to see this. I want to see this.
All right. Did I mention the giveaway? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You were talking about Candy Corn Apocalypse and how you needed to go like
Start
and
over.
stuff.
All right. So the first announcement is I'm doing a giveaway on my Facebook page, Candy Corn Apocalypse, to give away what I'm about to show you, the sculptures I've been working on. So what I've been working on are Sam for Trick or Treat, Sam from the movie Trick or Treat. These are the original sculptures that I made. This is in clay. So that was the first step, was to sculpt these. That people have seen this already. So then the next step was to make molds, which are these guys here. I know you probably can't see that very well, but those are the molds that I made from the original sculptures.
What
And
do you
then-
make the molds out of?
What is that?
What do you make the molds out of?
That is a silicone rubber, Platsil 7320. I know that doesn't mean anything, but it's a kind of silicone rubber. And then from those molds, I started casting in resin, which I have here. Let's see, all right. So those are the only painted with primer, white primer, resin sculpts, which look exactly like the clay sculptures. And then what I was doing all day today, and this is the reveal, this is the first time anyone has seen these, I have the final painted sculptures. Now these are going to be magnets, I'm going to sell them, which is why this is the shilling part of the show. But here are the finished painted.
Oh wow,
Nice.
Those are great.
that's
So that's the two Sam heads, the mask and the unmasked. And what I'm going to do, the third announcement, is that along with these magnets, I am going to include randomly inserted blood variants of the magnets. I have only one example of that here, but this will be a randomly inserted blood variant. I know the lighting is not the best here.
no, that's tight, dude.
So basically that is an example of what the blood variants will look like. Every single blood variant will be different. It really just depends on where I see I want to put the blood on that particular one. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. So right now only the fronts are painted. I'm going to also paint the backs. They're plain right now, and then I'm going to put magnets on them. And I'm going to sell those on I forget which store I chose, not Etsy, but the other one. Store Envy. It could be a Store Envy store. So, for the giveaway, if you guys go to my Candy Corn Apocalypse page sometime later tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to do a giveaway to give away one of these, a pair of these, for the giveaway. So that's where the sculpting is. I've been working hard on that stuff instead of writing.
I think
Those
those
are
turned
tight.
out great.
Yeah, those are tight.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Where can people get them? Like, other than the giveaway tonight, where can people?
I'm going to do. I'm setting up a Store Envy shop. I haven't really set it up completely yet because I was still working on the pieces. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the giveaway run, and then when the giveaway ends, they'll go on sale for actual purchase. So probably in like a week or so, I'm estimating that I'll have those up for sale. And then my next project that I announced on my Facebook page is I'm going to actually make the candy lollipop. If you stick with me just 1 second, I have one of the promo lollipops from the movie, so I'm actually going to make replicas of this, and I'm probably gonna do both real candy ones and resin, plastic, collectible ones. So that'll be the next project, and I'm just gonna keep going from there. I'm gonna keep playing with the clay and see where it takes me because it's a lot of fun. But I'm also writing. I'm still writing. So if you want to buy something, you could buy my books in the meantime. Loosely Enforced Rules, I think, is the most recent thing if you're looking for something. Loosely Enforced Rules over on Amazon, and I'm working on my next novel. I'm writing, not quite like the wind, Mercedes, but I am writing. I'm about 66,000 words into the next novel, so around 80,000 words I'll be done, get to editing, and hopefully someone will actually want to publish it.
Nice.
Hey, real quick, not to change the subject, but a question did just pop up. How does Todd feel about Comcast? It's on there. That's a legit question.
Is it really? Who posted that?
Todd writes letters to Comcast. I've read some of them.
Actually, I have
They're kind of embarrassing in their wordage. I felt like I was intruding on something private and beautiful. I love Notes to Comcast by Todd Kiesling.
I once know why I was home sick from work and I got a notice that my bill was going up, and I actually spent like 6 hours on the phone with Comcast negotiating because I thought that was bullshit because they're the devil. That's what I think of Comcast.
I've spent 6 hours doing anything.
Saving Granny from Comcast.
Saving Granny from Comcast. You know, I feel like in an alternate universe that was the actual story, Saving Granny from Comcast. Then parallel in a Todd from Dimension X wrote, the heartwarming story of how he saved his great-grandmother's life from the clutches of the evil telecommunication giant.
He took that bill and he marched himself right down.
Mr. Kiesling goes to Washington, or in this case, Philadelphia. Fucking Comcast, man.
I feel lucky that I don't have to deal with them, but I don't think the cable company I have is any better, to be honest. It's just a really local version of that, I think.
Give it about an hour, Comcast will absorb them like the fucking satanic amoeba that they are.
Hey, Tim Meyer wants to know, Todd, who does your hardcovers?
I saw that question. I'm not really sure how to answer that. Is he asking like who designs the jacket?
Why don't you drop
who
some
actually
names on all
prints
of
the
them?
hardcover? I'll just give you the whole spiel. Who actually produces the hardcovers? We go through distributor Lightning Source. They do the hardcovers, and my wife Erica designs the jackets because she loves me, and she's awesome.
Really awesome.
Yeah, she does truly incredible work, honestly. I mean, it looks amazing, really.
Thank you. I'll tell her you said that.
Yeah, I'm jealous that you have an in-home artist. I mean, my husband's a budget analyst, and I can't utilize him really in any tangible way for me.
Well, I mean, truth be told, my day job, I work in accounting, so
Yeah.
shocker, right? But, I am very, very fortunate to have her. In fact, where I am right now with my work, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. So, and that one's for you, honey. I don't know if she's even listening, but
You better not ask for $5. That's all I've got to say.
Nope. She's just gonna ask for nail polish.
Following Todd's lead, do the other two of you want to talk about what role your spouses play, your spice play in
Spice.
in what the fuck we do? Like Mercedes, I mean I know someone's got to wrangle them chickens, but like
Yeah, they're out here on the grill.
is there some specific role that he helps you out in that no one else can do?
He watches the kids pretty much. He supports my writing. I'm sure that he doesn't like what I write for the most part. He likes Pretty Little Dead Girls, and he likes I wrote a story in Beautiful Sorrows called I don't remember what it's called. He likes The Boy That Hangs the Stars. He likes that one. He doesn't like anything dark. He doesn't like the horror aspect. So he doesn't read my work really, unless we're on a big road trip, and I make him read. So I write about a novel a year, and then I read it to him when we're on this huge road trip, the hardcover, and he can't get out of the car. He has to listen. So that's his, one. And it helps me because that's the only way I read the whole thing aloud, because otherwise I just can't read it aloud and find all the errors. But he lets me write, and he supports my writing. He doesn't, I don't really use him for anything. He doesn't, do cover art or anything like that. But he'll come home, and tonight, I was going to make enchiladas, and oh yeah, I forgot to do that before this, and so we're probably having cereal, and he's cool with that. Not a lot of spice would be, he lets me do what I want and that. But no, I can't use him for anything. I mean, I wish. If I had lots of money, he could count it, but I don't. So.
What about you, Tony? You break some girls' hearts and tell us that there's a lady out there, or what's up?
No, I'm single right now.
You hear that, ladies? He's available.
One more time, Tony.
And Todd just saw the viewers' number drop again right there.
We actually did lose a viewer when I said that.
Dropped to 0.
Wait, one more popped up. We're back in the game.
My last relationship ended months ago, and if you want to know anything about it, all you have to do is pick up Robbed with Sleep and read my story entitled Rot with Me. That's all you have to know about that.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of beta reading that story. That took me back to a few poisonous relationships in my sordid past. So, buddy, this one's for you, my friend. This bottle of water. This goes out.
Oh, that's so lame.
I raise a Coke in your honor.
Nice. Hey, I got a story out of it,
I gotta say mine. My wife cooked food for the film shoot this weekend, 2 days, and not only that, but what's really, really good is my wife likes to drink as much as I do, so when we drink and I read her my thing, she forgets about it, and later when it's in print, she gets to read it again, and it's like it's the first time. So I get to get 2 beta readings out of her because we like to drink.
I gotta show you guys something. You have just a sec?
Sure.
Okay. Do you guys see this? Can you see that?
That's creepy.
They're on our
so
grill.
Creepy.
That's where they roost.
I think they're trying to tell you something.
They're 5 feet away from the coop, and they won't go in there. They just want to sleep on the grill and look delicious, and they do. They look tasty.
I'd make a hearty stew.
I'd fry them.
Chickens are delicious to eat, but I as an animal, they just bother me the way they look. I don't know what it is. No offense to your chickens, Mercedes, but I'm just...
Yeah, they're really offended, Todd. They're not going to buy your book. They're not going to pre-order.
Those bastards.
What I want to know is it's kind of like Indiana Jones hates snakes. I'd really like to know the backstory to why Todd Kiesling hates chickens.
Actually, I actually do hate snakes, to be honest. But
chickens is more interesting.
All right.
A chicken did something to you once. And let's just all leave it to our imaginations.
There was no incident that led to it. Birds in general bother me for some reason. I can't stand birds. They just piss me off. Which many things do in this world just piss me off for no reason, But chickens, they're just so dumb looking. You know, they just kind of. I mean, these birds eat their own shit. Come on. All right. Sometimes if you don't put them indoors when it's raining, they will drown because they're looking up in the sky.
That's turkeys. Come on. I'm
Just,
going to make you love them, Todd.
you know
what?
The only chicken I have ever felt endeared toward was Belina from Return to Oz. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I liked.
Yeah, I kind of hated her. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that chicken.
They're gonna write you letters. I'm gonna have them send you a little chicken letter, chicken scratching. They're gonna win you love.
Chicken scratch. I see what you did there.
Yeah. See.
Should be ashamed of yourself.
They're so dumb. Oh no, I've been doing horrible puns all day. I am ashamed.
My friend Amy just posted, and I'm going to repeat this verbatim, everybody, because I feel like it needs to go on record. Amy says Todd's cock hating is going to cost him his book sales. That's my friend Amy from Portland, Oregon. Amy's awesome. Love you, Amy. Thank you. So, where on the doll did the chicken touch you?
Best! That's the best one ever.
Everywhere, baby. Those chickens have no boundaries.
Christopher, for the record, I can't say legally because those records are still sealed. They're still sealed.
I'm sorry, that's the best thing I've heard all day.
Where on the doll did the chicken touch you?
He's a fucking genius.
Oh, little chicken molesters.
Oh, God. Now I feel like I need a shower.
So when Christopher asked, what did you ever write that sent people to the showers? The answer is his Facebook post.
Well, I got Todd Kiesling, self-professed gore master, to have to go cleanse off the shame from his body.
It's okay that you're afraid of chickens.
I'm not afraid of chickens. They just piss me off.
No, I see fear in your eyes. They are tiny velociraptors. I mean, they are. Kind of crazy.
And oh, how the mighty have fallen. The velociraptor could see where they've ended up in the great evolutionary chain.
Yeah, let me tell you their names, okay? We've got Five Piece. We've got Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. We've got Noodle. We've got Pecco, whose name was originally Pecker, but the kids yelling that all day. The 3-year-old calls her Pecco, and it stuck. And then we have Jessica Fletcher, and she's kind of the busybody chicken.
Jessica Fletcher. That's awesome.
Do I have any other questions?
I don't know.
Everybody left. They're done.
Aside from... No, actually, we have more viewers than we've had all night because of the where on the doll did the chicken touch you.
Good job, Christopher.
Thanks, Christopher. I'll need you on my marketing team, buddy.
Uh-oh. Hey, hang on. That was supposed to be a fart. One second.
What?
Huh?
Really? Did he just...
What?
Jesus. You know what? Hold on a second. This calls for the boomer.
No, not the
Prepare
boomer.
yourself.
No,
I don't
do
think
the
Tony's
boomer.
seen the boomer.
What? No, not your boomer doll.
Or is that's a zombie thing that he has, right?
It's his horrible... Oh, it's his gross boomer doll. Ugh.
I feel like this is my mascot. This is the boomer from Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. If you're a video game player, you probably recognize this guy, and this guy in particular makes some noises. He has really bad indigestion. Get ready.
I'm horrified that I'm familiar with your toys
That's
and knew
for
that
you.
was coming.
Hey, you're the one who asked about this. That was
Oh.
the first question she asked when we did the Ugly Little Things Q&A. And she's like, I just have a question. What is that soccer ball thing in the background? I'm like, really? You want to know? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
I rescind that question. I mean, I have fun, cute things like this. You see my little pony skeleton that my friend C. Michelle's Jeffrey made, who also wrote books. You back, Eric?
Yes, ma'am. I'm right. Yeah, I'm right here.
That was a quick cleanup, man.
Yep. Thank you.
I applaud you.
Yeah. I hope you didn't exhaust your supply of baby wipes on that one.
I don't know what you're talking about, but all right.
There's just shame now.
That's not shame. I'm pleased to note that this bottle of water has 0 calories. Thank God.
Oh, that's
Here's a new question.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, good. That was getting awkward for a second.
Woo! What we promised. For all of you, what is your favorite book and what is your favorite movie? Let's start with Mercedes. Your favorite book and your favorite movie.
Okay, my favorite book is a tie. I love The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. I just do. I just love it. And I also love Watership Down. So I've read those several times, and I totally dig them. Favorite movie? I think I have to go back to like the old ones. Like Labyrinth is kind of my go-to movie. You know, to have playing on in the background. Just, I totally dig that. It started my love affair with David Bowie, who will narrate my books one day with his gorgeous, gorgeous voice. And
shoes.
yeah, oh yeah.
Did you have a freaky dream? Did you have a freaky, freaky dream?
Don't do that when I'm taking a drink, Eric. Jesus fucking Christ.
But we're always taking a drink, Todd Kiesling.
David Bowie. That's my piss poor David Bowie impression.
Oh, was that what that was?
That's what it was supposed to be. It sounded
I
more
feel like you
Christopher
dropped off
Walken.
in shame.
What about you, Tony? What's your favorite book? What's your favorite movie?
that's an unfair question. I'm just gonna randomly. All right, Cat's Cradle, Kurt Vonnegut, definitely up there in
That's a
terms
good
of
one.
favorite books. And I don't know, Fight Club is one of my favorite movies. I love a lot of movies, so it's. I mean, it's a hard question. Those are two of my favorites.
Nice.
Am
Todd,
I next? Okay. Movie. You know, this is always my go-to answer for this movie, the movie question, whenever it comes up, and I'm going to say Brazil, directed by
Ooh.
Terry Gilliam. That is probably one of my favorite, probably, if not my favorite movie, definitely in the top 5. As for books, that is definitely an unfair question. I mean, my God, what genre are we talking about? You can't put one genre over another. Christ. You know, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say right now, my favorite book.
Dirtbags by Eric Pruitt.
Well, that's one of them. That's one of them. Each of your novels are personal favorites of mine. But you know, as far as like, you know, a book
Thank you,
that is
Mercedes.
You're welcome. Gotcha.
a book that I find myself going back to a lot is actually a collection, and it's Night Shift by Stephen King.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if I had to, if my stepson came to me and said, you know, I wanna read Stephen King, where should I start? I would point him toward Night Shift.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
who asked that question?
Oh, I got lost. Adam Bolin.
Okay.
Adam Bolin asked. It was asked in another in a comment, but I'd like to field that real quick. I've said many times that Clay Reynolds' Agatite was a big influence on me. It still is. These days, if I want to update that answer, Jedediah Aries' Peckerwood. That's the title of the book. It's called Peckerwood. I would tell everybody, if you just want to get a taste of what I'm into, go for Peckerwood, man. That's a great book. And as far as movies go, the best horror movie I have seen this year, Jug Face. This is from there's some people like Lucky McKee, who's a great director, wrote and directed the movie The Woman. The Woman is great. It was like last year or the year before. Lucky McKee helped produce the movie Jug Face. Like, I looked at this thing, and on Netflix, IMDb, they're consistently 2-3 stars across the board. People hate this thing. You gotta smell what they're cooking in order to dig it. It's not like for the mainstream. Jug Face. Listen to me. If you like a good narrative, if you like something good and twisted that your friends aren't necessarily going to get, something that you can talk about in circles where you're like, all right, now you get it. Now, this isn't something that like we can talk about at church, or this isn't something we can talk about at the local snow cone stand. This is something we can talk about in circles where we can design who is smart and who is other. Jug Face. Listen to me. This is some good shit, dude. Jug Face. 2 and 3 stars across the board, but the 4 of us and people that like good quality twisted shit. Jug Face.
Reverend Eric, you know what I'm going to watch tonight. Tell me what I'm going to watch tonight.
You're going to watch Jug Face, son.
That is right. I'm watching Jug Face.
Ask you what you need to watch now. What do you watch, Tony? Jug Face. Dude, this is some good shit, dude. I'm serious. It's good shit.
I feel like I've been born again.
Baptize yourself in the water of the pit. And yes, you'll like it.
I love how you get right up.
Jug Face.
I can't fucking breathe. Oh my god. I can't even believe I'm having this much fun without alcohol. Holy shit. Oh,
wait,
god.
no alcohol.
Oh. Oh man. That's on my Netflix queue. I can't wait to watch it. And
Dude,
if,
I'm serious. On a serious note, get on it, because that is there's rules. You know, you take a left, you take a right, you zig, you zag. There's rules to like writing a good story, writing a good movie. They break them all, dude. They break every fucking one of them, and you look at it consistently. 2, 3 stars. People saying, you know what? They never explain this. They never do this. And you're like, you know what? Thank God they didn't. This is a really good story. It's constructed well. The film is created well. While I was watching it, I freaked out. I got about 80 minutes in, and then just got on Twitter and looked for these people because I was like, I need to talk to somebody about this. This is great. Found the filmmakers on Twitter and just started talking to them. I was like, guys, great fucking job. This is good storytelling. And I freaked out, honestly, on the bad reviews because, you know what? Guess what? People just don't get it. It's a good fucking movie. It's a good story. This Jug Face, dude, get on it now. Get on it.
You find that happens a lot to you, Eric? Because I know it happens to me all the time. where I go and I watch a movie and I think it's fucking brilliant, and then I look at reviews and they're like, you know, just they hate it.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good mark for somebody that's going to do something new. A lot of people don't want to be taken out of that comfort zone, and we've probably all experienced that. You know, there's something that we're like, dude, this is new. This is what I want to see. When I open a book, I want to see these things. These are the things it was one of the greatest things that Christopher taught me working with him, Christopher G. Moore, is that, dude, I want to write the I want to film the movie that I want to watch. And it may not be the movie that everybody else wants to watch, but it's the movie that when he watches it, it's not, it's where these other people fell short. It's if you want to see something else, why don't you write it? And that's what I like. It's what I tried to do when I wrote Dirtbags. And, it's like, it's not conventional. We're not always trying to go for convention. We're trying to write something new, and we're trying to write something different, and that's what I like. That's what I really, really thoroughly enjoyed about Jugface, is all throughout the thing that when I was watching it, they should have turned left. They should have zigged. They should have done these different things, and they would have gotten more stars. But they didn't, and because of that, it was new to me. As I'm sure every one of you have experienced, there are, we've seen it all. We research, we read, we watch movies, we see all of these things. We've seen it all. Jugface gave us something different, and it goes back to what I was saying. Like, sometimes it's fun to talk to writers because it's more creative to see what they did differently, where you turned differently, where you made this choice. I mean, in the end, there's always going to be this funnel where it's like everybody's going to make this, all is lost. Now the narrator is going to experience this. The narrator is going to lose hope in humanity and then be brought back. There's a formula, and when people escape that formula, I think it's fucking great. It's what I saw with Jugface. It's what I want. I hope I'm trying to do. That's what people do that I like to read and watch. Jugface, dirtbags. All right, I went off on a rant.
All right.
Sell my book. That's what I want.
I need to hire you, Eric. I need you to just follow me around all the time and narrate everything I do.
Dressed up in a clown suit.
Dressed up in a clown suit.
A crying clown suit.
I just
Oh
want
my
to
God.
get close and just look at Eric. Just really get right up there.
Guys, we had some more questions, and we're down
I
to
bet
like
we did.
our last 10 minutes. So I'm gonna MC this, whatever the fuck that means. Tim Meyer posted and he says, "Where do you folks?" And this is a serious question, so put your game faces on because you're professional authors. Where do you folks think?
What?
Yep. Where do you folks think the future of publishing is headed? Self-publishing, traditional publishing, both? You know what? I'm just gonna say, can we just think of it as publishing? Can we stop dividing it? I would like that very much, because self-publishers and and traditional publishers, one way or the other, the author ends up having to work their asses off regardless. So can we just think of it as publishing? I would like to do that.
No.
Okay. Drop the mic.
I'm gonna pass on this one. I don't know, man. The future of publishing is gonna, things are gonna come out and people can buy it, maybe, or get it for free. Honestly, I really don't know. I don't follow as nearly as closely as I should. I probably don't care nearly as much as I should. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna. I know I've already spoken more than I should, but which I could probably say that about everything. I've said too much, but I would actually, for the sake of time, Tim, I would point you toward Chuck Wendig. His blog, Terrible Minds. Everything that guy says is so spot on. I agree with everything he says about the industry as in general. Like he's done indie, he's done traditional, and he's got a style and a flair about him that is just very down to earth. And I would point you toward him. He would probably say anything I or we could ever say about the publishing industry far more eloquently in his own Chuck Wendig style. But that being said, Mercedes, Eric, you guys have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I do. Mercedes, would you like to go first?
Yes, because I have a feeling you're gonna rant. So let me just flip this in there. If you're gonna, and I love Chuck Wendig. I enjoy his blog a lot. I would say that if you're going to read Chuck Wendig, counterpoint that with J.A. Conrad. And they have a little brouhaha going on right now, or maybe it's all finished, but two sides of the same argument. So I would suggest that. I would say that however publishing is going, though, the author is not going to be able to sustain themselves much. I think the way that it's heading is the money is going away from the author immensely. That just seems to be what I'm seeing. I don't see it being something where you can really aspire to be a full-time author and keep your salary. So that's my 2 cents. Go, Reverend.
I'm not gonna rant. I am gonna say that I think that the way the way publishing is headed is going to allow us to control more of our voice. You know, it's sort of like when you write something and then someone else, and then when someone else gets to tell it on film, they do get to change. You know, they do get to add a spin to it. Dirtbags should never, dirtbags should never, would never have been published as is. I think with traditional publishing, with Big Five, you know, so they would have wanted to change it, and we probably all experienced that. These days, you know, we're going to see more of that. Right now, I get to fight. I get to fight for the #1 spot with a guy that wrote this book. His name is Tom Pitts. Wrote a book called Hustle, and me and him go back and forth on who's #1 best ranked on the Amazon Noir chart. I'm happy to fight with him. I'm reading his book. It's fucking great, dude. It's fucking awesome. Neither of our books should have ever been published. But because of where publishing is heading, we both get a voice, we both get a say, we're both fighting for #1 on the Amazon Noir charts. It's unfucking believable. And because of that, since I get to talk to you guys, since I get to hang out with you guys, we get to we get a voice, we get a say. And I can't wait to see, now things with the internet is getting taken to the people. And I can't wait to see where we go from here. I'm happy with it. I like it. I say more for it. Let's kill some people. Let's make a revolution. Everybody, if you're within the sound of my voice.
I honestly don't know what happened to Eric, but it appears he fell out of his chair. And
if you're going to follow someone for a revolution, maybe it shouldn't be Eric right now.
Yeah, wait for Eric to sober up a little bit before you follow him anywhere.
Is there another question, Todd?
Yeah, we're actually at 11 o'clock. You guys want to answer these last 2 questions?
Sure.
I can. Okay. All right. I'm just going by. They were both posted at the same time. I'm going to go alphabetically by the person. Stephen Smith posted this about 16 minutes ago. Have you ever started writing something that's taken you somewhere you realized you weren't prepared to go? Did you finish anyways, redirect, or run screaming to the hills?
I'm
Yes.
prepared to go everywhere, always. That's my answer.
I have an outline. I usually put out the outline, and I do allow myself to escape. I know originally in my first novel, Dirtbags, there was an ending that I had in sight. As I went towards it, it changed a little, and I think for the better. My feedback has been for the better. But there's an outline I have. A lot of times, yes, I will abandon it, run screaming for the hills. But yeah, that's my answer.
Um, I'm quite an organic writer. I always follow where the story goes. If it's something I don't necessarily want to address, I feel that that's maybe when it's most important to address it. Doesn't mean that that will end up in the novel, but it will be addressed, written out, taken care of, and then I decide later whether or not that's actually part of the novel. The book I'm working on right now it's titled The Kitchen Witch. Doesn't That's its working title. It goes into some really dark places about humanity and things, and some kind of scary areas that are hard for me to explore, but I definitely am following where it goes. I just like to be honest and be authentic to it. You know, I don't want to stifle it during the creative process, and later on I can see, oh, that should go there, or, oh, that shouldn't. But yeah, I'll always follow it, and then take that shower afterwards because I feel dirty. But yeah, I'll do it.
The title sounds hot.
Awesome. What happened with your chair there, Eric? I'm just wondering.
With what chair?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All
What
right.
chair?
Tony?
Hi.
He answered it.
Your answer?
What, dirtbags?
Question.
My answer, that was really my answer. I'm always prepared to go everywhere at all times. I don't have outlines. I don't think about what I want to happen. I just let it happen. I guess the question was really more like along the lines of, is it something that you wouldn't want to write about because it's touchy or taboo kind of topics? But I don't really shy away from that stuff either. But I don't look to write that stuff. It's just, again, kind of like what Mercedes said, organic, whatever I think should happen or the characters want to happen at that given moment. I just kind of let it happen. I sit down and I try to not overthink, which is probably why when I read stuff, I'm always like completely unaware of the fact that I wrote them. Like, I honestly, people could like show me something that I wrote and be like, yeah, I wrote this a couple weeks ago. Like, yeah, it sounds familiar. It's good stuff, man.
And that's on you now, Todd.
All right. I'd have to say, I kind of feel I'm going to put on my highfalutin, New Yorker cap for a second and talk about high art. I feel like anything that you're doing creatively, if you're not going to some place that you're not comfortable, that you're not uncomfortable, rather, then, well, let me rephrase this. I think the best art comes from an uncomfortable place. Like, the artist kind of has to go to this place where they're vulnerable, and it's raw and honest, and sometimes it's pretty dark. Sometimes it's you're basically putting yourself out there completely naked, and you're showing the world here's what's below the skin. Basically, you're flagellating yourself in front of people. But yeah, I mean, you really need to be in a vulnerable space, and that's all I got. It's late. I'm tired. But yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
That was beautiful.
I'm glad I could move you to tears. I'm sorry, Steve. I'll let you down, man. It's late, man. It's late, dude. All right, next question. Last question, actually, and this came from Zach Walters again. Individually, who is your biggest influence, and whose releases are you most looking forward to? Tony, take it away.
All right. I don't know, man. I feel like I've answered this question on these before, so I'll just blast through it. Hemingway, Vonnegut, Polnick, and King. Those are the influences. And I'm really, honestly, I feel bad about this, but I'm really not tracking releases right now. I'm not in a place where I'm really reading what's coming out. You know, I'm reading Nosferatu right now, Joe Hill's novel, and it's been like a month that I've been reading this thing. Eric's book is on my Kindle up next, I think.
Dirtbags? Did someone say dirtbags?
Which one is
Talking
it?
about dirtbags.
Which one?
I think it's called Dirtbags.
It's called Bag of Dirt or something. I don't know.
Mercedes. I have. I want to say Apocalyptic Lulu, but it might have been something else. Maybe I don't know. I have one of yours on my Kindle ready. I have a long lineup of books that I want to read from, you know, just a matter of getting there. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Am I still?
Mercedes?
Yeah, some of my influences, I think, are Neil Gaiman, who I hadn't heard of when I started writing. Someone said, "You sound like him," and I was like, "Who's that guy?" And now that I've read his stuff, I think, yeah. So, I think he influenced me after I became acquainted with his work, and it kind of helped me hone what I was already doing. Irma Bombeck is a big influence. I just love her. She was so funny and clever and witty. And I'm like Tony. I'm not really tracking anything right now. I'm very slow on the draw. I'm reading things from my friends. I finished reading Morning Jewelry by Stephanie. I'm going to say her name wrong. Witovich? Stephanie W. I loved that, and I am slowly kind of getting to my friends' work, so I'm not waiting for things to come out per se. I have Kirsty Logan wrote the Rental Heart, and I'm dying to read that. That's on my Kindle with a lot of things. I've loved everything she's ever written, but yeah. So I'm so backlogged in reading that I'm not looking for anything to come out yet. I'm just kind of woohoo when I get to things on my list.
You know what? Just to throw this in there, I do also have Jonathan Wynn's novel. Well, actually, not the newest one, but the one before that. I'm afraid to. I'm honestly.
Martuk the Holy.
Yeah, Martuk the Holy. I was afraid I was going to mispronounce words because I'm an English teacher. But yeah, I have those queued up as well to read. Sorry to jump in there again, Eric.
Yeah, you're just arrogant, Tony.
I'll tell you this: they've been talking for a while about a William Gay book, that has not, that's out there, that a publishing company bought and the publishing company folded. McAdam Cage. A lot of people probably have their own horror stories about that, but there's a William Gay story out there that, man, I'd go down on a long man in order to get my fingers on that book. So I'd love to see that. That's it. I mean, I'm waiting for that thing to come out. Somewhere. He is a big influence of mine. I've said already, Clay Reynolds, William Gay, Jim Thompson. We're not going to see anything new from him. Elmore Leonard. I'm sure there's a couple of hidden things. I paid $50 for this dude's short stories, a collection of this dude's short stories, named Todd Kiesling, so I can't wait for that shit to come out. But, yeah, I'm going to get my fingers on one of them. But So yeah, that's it. I've got my influences. They're all over. Every once in a while, I'm going to solely delve into crime. The extra influence in horror helps me out. But yeah, like I said, I'd go down on a long man for that new William Gay. And seriously, give it to me.
All right. How do I follow that? How do I possibly fucking follow that? Seriously. Biggest influence? Oh my god. I guess the usual suspects: King, Kuntz, Bradbury, Gaiman, Camus, Polnick, Barker, especially Barker. God, I'm drawing a blank. Joe Hill, actually. I would definitely rank him up there. Tony, you need to finish Nosferatu. One of the better horror novels I read last year.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Good. I'm glad.
Read his book, dude. Read his book.
And what was the other part of the question? Whose releases are you looking forward?
Yeah,
most looking forward to.
releases.
Oh
I'm
wait,
not-
mine, right?
Well, yeah. Tony's whenever he finishes it. Eric's next one, of course. But like Mercedes said, I'm not actually tracking anything that's coming out soon because I'm trying to get caught up on a backlog of stuff. I'm just flipping through my Kindle right now. I started reading Glenn Rolfe's The Haunted Halls, which just came out from James Ward Kirk Publishing. It's pretty good so far. It's got a shining vibe to it.
Oh.
So, Glenn, if you're out there, buddy, I'm enjoying it so far. I got Robbed of Sleep, which Tony and Mercedes and myself were published in, but I have not had an opportunity to read any of the other stories in it, and I want to. Mary Rajat has a couple of stories that have come out that I have not had an opportunity to read, Like Flies the Honey and the Lockwood Collection. I've got a couple here from Terry West. Cecil and Bubba meet the succubus, and Cecil and Bubba meet the Thang. Not the thing, but the Thang.
Nice.
I got some collection of stories here by some fucking hack I know called Welcome to Moon Hill. That would be by Anthony J. Rapino.
Is that you, Tony? Is that you, Tony?
I'm about halfway through Jack Ketchum's off-season. I'm enjoying it, but I've just had so many other things going on. I've not had an opportunity to really read much lately. So
I will say this: even though they say that Twilight series is over, I really think there's a couple other stories with that Bella and Edward in there, and I'm looking for it. The werewolf fella. I think there's some other storylines to explore.
Well, I certainly hope so, because E.L. James needs some more stories to ape for her own success. So.
Whoa!
Shots fired.
You guys, it's dark.
Oh my god. It's like the darkness has encompassed Mercedes. It's the chickens. It's because of the chickens, isn't it?
They're all there roosting up on the grill. It just got darker and darker and scarier, and Eric went nuts. And
what?
I'm living in the Blair Witch.
I feel like if we were to take this broadcast and play it backwards during Reverend Eric's sermon, we would probably summon the devil.
Sure.
And it would be amazing.
Right? Well, I thought Tony was supposed to crawl out of a cake. Oh, happy birthday, Guy!
Yeah, Guy Medley, happy birthday. We almost missed it.
Happy birthday, Guy.
Happy birthday.
Are my eyes glowing with an unholy light?
You're just a face in the darkness now, you know?
Unholy sparkles. They're glowing with unholy sparkles. All right, so it's 11:15, and I have to work in the morning, so I think we should do our farewells and tell everybody what your most recent release is so they can go buy it and read it and love it forever. Do it.
Do it.
Tony, you're up.
Me? All right, I already said it earlier, I guess, but I got loosely enforced rules. One of the darkest stories I've written in a long time. Why don't you go out and get that and enjoy it, I guess. And I don't. You know what? Don't buy my books. Doesn't matter.
Don't listen to him. Buy his books. They're worth it, I promise.
By Moon Hill. I loved that. I love that. Welcome to Moon Hill is so just a great collection. Okay.
Thank you. I'm done.
Eric, you're up.
Yes, currently the number 2 story, goddamn you, Tom Pitts, is on the Amazon Noir charts is Dirtbags. Please catch a hold of that. I've got to make sure that you look out for Disengaged coming into a horror film festival circuit near you. There's a horror con near you. Please check it out. Disengaged, directed by Christopher G. Moore. We're 3 for 3 on film festivals. A lot of these are audience awards, so please cast your vote. My new novel coming out in the spring is hashtag. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But we just wrapped with a really, really super crew and cast today, an hour before this thing started, for my first directorial debut. It's called Liana on Command. That's my first short film. We just wrapped it today. Hopefully, I can't wait to share that shit with you. So, some other short fiction stuff will be coming out soon, including a Swill Magazine's The Return of the Mississippi Hot Mess. Look out for it. Otherwise, next person.
Mercedes.
Wow, I'm so lucky. My newest thing that just came out was Nameless. It's an urban fantasy novel. It's my debut novel. It came out in January. The second book to that will be out in this January. So, and my other book that came out a little bit earlier was Apocalyptic Montessa, Nuclear Lulu, A Tale of Atomic Love. It's on sale for $2 on Kindle. So there's no excuse for you to not go and pick it up and read it and tell me what you think about it if you get a chance to. And that's it for me. It's just dark.
The darkness has swallowed Mercedes.
Like I faded.
Gone.
That's pretty great.
Todd, your turn.
Do
All
that
right.
again, seriously.
Todd.
Yeah. So
What is it?
what? I missed that.
No. Pimp it.
Pimp it. All right. My book that is available for pre-order for a limited time is Ugly Little Things, Volume 1.
I got mine.
I got mine.
So.
How embarrassing, Tony.
Did you
Kinda
wrote the
cringe,
intro?
aren't
Anyway.
I posted a link in the Facebook page. You have until August 16th to pre-order. The book will not be available on Amazon or any other retailer after the pre-order window closes. So this is a one-time deal, people. Get on this. You get a ton of extra stuff. All the details are at the Precipice Books website. So I urge you, please, please, buy my book.
Get down on your
Buy
knees.
my book.
Ask them
Buy
for real.
my book. Ask them for what?
Ask them for real. I said, get down on your knees, Todd.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know about that.
If I was on the edge about buying your book and you got down on
All right, fine. Here we go. Here we go. Now, keep in mind, I'm so tall, you're not going to realize that I'm actually on my knees. So, yeah. On my knees now. Buy my book, please. 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 Feed a writer. Feed a writer. Please.
How many viewers did we just lose?
2. We lost
All
2.
of them.
I think they're gone.
We lost 2, actually.
He's like, oh God, he's on his knees begging. But maybe they left to buy your book.
Actually, I did have a pre-order. I did have a pre-order in the last 2 hours.
Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book!
I just need this, like, to as a button or something I can press when I walk everywhere, or just walking down the street. Buy my book. Buy
You
my
guys,
book.
this is the weirdest one we have ever had. I mean, there were chickens, and he fell over and ranted, and the darkness has swallowed me whole.
I
And
feel like I've been born again after his sermon. I mean, seriously, like I'm a changed man. My soul has been cleansed. I have been baptized in the waters of Lake Castor, which is a setting for the great novel Dirtbags.
well, thank you guys so much, and it's been a pleasure. I need to go wrangle a little bit and put the kiddos to bed, but this has been great, and thank you guys for sticking with us and watching and participating, and especially for your questions.
Yes,
I don't
thank
know if
you
I'm going to
very
make it out of
much.
this house alive. Seriously.
All right, everybody, we are off for the night. Have a great week, and thanks for tuning in.
See you guys
Bye.
later.